So today we're out with the Isaac Construction Company in Harewood, Christchurch, and they're a good long-term client. I've worked with them for over the last 10 years. What I really admire about the company here is their approach to their people and their culture. Culture is everything. You've heard Jeremy talking about their values, which they place a high emphasis on. And the amount of training and development they do with their people, it's a long-term approach for success in the future, but it's phenomenal. They really value their people and they invest in them for succession and future growth. There was another CEO, Brian Warren, when they first engaged with us and me. And so I've seen the succession of Jeremy into the role of CEO. A fair bit of my work has been in supporting him as he develops as an executive leader, from leading a division in the company, then he was the ops manager and now the CEO. So it's been quite a journey. And over that time, of course, we've had the GFC, we've had the Christchurch earthquakes, we've had the rebuild, and now the market's returning to the post-earthquake normal in a bit of a quieter period. So quite a bit's happened within the company in that time. To be able to sit alongside a very capable leader like Jeremy, it's a bit of an honour really, and it's something that I don't take lightly. Watching Jeremy develop as a CEO, and I guess as he come into the role and just taking the business forward, I have a real sense of pride. It's very rewarding. Quietly in the background, I watch the company win some awards and what they achieve with their clients and with their partnerships. It's fantastic. And of course I get the benefit of learning a lot from them, not just Jeremy but his wider team. They're young, some not so young, but enthusiastic, capable leaders, and they're working in a tough industry. Construction is, your practical people out there leading in quite isolated environments. And so the leadership skills they need are varied and they are very people orientated. So Neil Isaac was a military officer, an engineer. He did a lot of his service in the Second World War. So the company is based on an army engineer sort of culture. But that said, there are synergies in that they task orientate for different projects. So different groups within the company and functional areas will be put together, sometimes outside the Christchurch area, on different projects and work together. So there's a real element of being able to pull teams together quickly, know each other well, build that trust. It's one of the challenges of civil construction. If I look back on Jeremy when he was the ops manager, very task orientated and moving fast, to the realisation that as the CEO, it was too complex. There's a lot of moving parts. He has to have that really tight team around him, and they're clever people, of different specialties, different qualifications. And so to be able to get that team to work as a CE, that's probably a shifting moment. And understanding these different tools to get the best out of very different people. In my relationship with Jeremy, it's about staying ahead of him, it's about understanding what's coming next, what are the challenges he's likely to face. Sometimes, there are situations where he just wants to talk, and so it's very much a collegial relationship, but often it's around supporting him to develop his people. So that's a varied relationship. It's one I really value, and I really enjoy it. It has its highs, its lows. There have been times we've had some pretty tough conversations. I've had to support him with some really tough situations and some challenging times. And I think across all the CEs I work, there's one common thing is it's quite an isolated role. You're working into a board, you have a team, and they need peers around them and mentors and people who want to see them do well and support them, and they value that. Isaac executes very well. They have a great team. They're always planning ahead, and it's been a company that's been around for a long time, so they have a confidence and they have a really sound base of relationships and core work. So they're well placed, but they don't rest on their laurels, and that's what I like about them. They are ahead of the curve, or actively trying to be, in a pretty complex, tight market, and they're always working for what's next for us. So the relationship in the future for us will obviously depend on Jeremy, but it is about supporting the changes in the market and as the company continues to grow. I've worked with their staff from foreman, running training workshops, right through to the executive team coaching one-on-one, and I haven't met someone in this company that I don't like. They're good, practical people, and they're working in a tough environment, and I really enjoy their culture. They work hard, they celebrate the wins, they win awards, and they care about their people, and they've always done that. And I think the thing that sets them apart is that purpose. When you go to their open day with the wildlife park and have access to some of these rare animals, you see them with their families and just how many people are involved with this organisation. It's incredible. The way they value their people and invest in their people and invest in training, not just technical training, but in their leadership development and in their team leaders, is phenomenal. They prioritise it and they've taken quite a long-term approach to it, and it's paying dividends. The company's well placed in the future for succession at most levels.